Hey, what's up team? Eddie Gray here with The Modern Creative, and today I want to talk to you about the very first time that I ever opened up Logic Pro. I was completely bamboozled by all the options, all the buttons, all the arrows, all the windows. I couldn't believe what was in front of me. It took me so long to understand the program, and so I decided to get on a journey of learning it. Studied every book, every video, and now I'm here on YouTube to talk to you about my love for music production in Logic Pro. Today, I'm going to cover how to record within Logic Pro, how to get started without all the complications and without all the nonsense. So I hope you're ready. Make sure you like the video and let's jump right in. Of course, the very first time you open up Logic Pro, you're met with what's called the New Tracks dialog window. And we have 4 different track types: audio, session player, pattern, and MIDI. You could think of it like blue, yellow, purple, and green. That's probably the easiest way of thinking about it. So right now, for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to choose green. That's called a software instrument track type. This primarily means that I have to play something in. The foundation of music are chords. But before we get to that, I want to talk about the overall infrastructure of Logic Pro. In other words, I want to teach you how to see it. If we gaze our eyes towards the middle of the screen, this is called the tracks area, by far the most important part of Logic Pro. You'll be spending the majority of your time within this framework. You cannot theoretically close this window. It's kind of always up. The tracks area is where all of those track types are going to go. You're going to populate this area with software instrument track types, with audio tracks, with session players, and with the pattern regions as well. Something else that you really thoroughly have to understand are how to look at the data that you're inserting. So for example, let's say I play something in or I drag in a loop. For now, I'll go ahead and drag in a green MIDI loop. Now, when I drag it in, it's important that I'm able to edit it in such a way that makes it easy to move within Logic Pro. And there are 2 dominant ways of doing this. If I hit I, that opens up the inspector. The inspector has various inspectors within it. The region inspector, which we will be looking at great lengths within my courses and my videos. The track inspector as well, very useful for various technical reasons. And then we have the channel strip inspectors, the left and the right. That is critical. The other thing that you need to know are the editors, and that key command is E. And if you're not a key command person, do me a favor and start to get to know all the icons within Logic Pro. I mean, if you look at the top of the screen, you can see that there are various icons, and this is where you're going to really learn the ins and outs of the program. This pencil icon conjures up the piano roll editor. And if I have, let's say, an audio track and I click that same pencil icon or key command E, you can see I am inside of the audio track editor now. So 2 things that you need to know: the inspector, key command I, lots of stuff there. And then E, or the icon at the top of the screen, and that's going to allow you to edit the data that you are inserting within the tracks area. And now the third thing, last but not least, you definitely have to know the Apple Loops browser, key command O. That's going to allow you to take pre-recorded and pre-configured audio and MIDI data and go ahead and bring it into the tracks area. So that's very important. You really have to know that. Let's say you are thinking of an idea, like I want to bring in a harp or a tambourine. You hit O, you can go ahead, search for various loops, and then drag in that data. Now again, when you drag in that data, you're able to edit it by going into the editor's key command E, and that's where you'll find the step sequencer editor. The other part of Logic Pro is selecting the sounds. So if we listen to this sound up here, I have a bass, but maybe I don't want a bass. And if I click on the key command Y, that would be the library. Top left of the screen, you can see the icon there. I get to replace that sound if I wish. So instead of a bass, Let's say you wanted a synthesizer, perhaps some kind of lead, and let's take a listen to this. So these are very important areas to know if you're going to move swiftly within Logic Pro. We've got the tracks area, we've got the inspectors, we have the editors, and then lastly, we have the Apple Loops browser on the right, key command O, and then the library key command Y on the left-hand side. All right, so now we're going to write our chord progression. It's very important to understand that chord progressions are really the foundation for music. So I'm going to go back to the very beginning. We're going to open up a software instrument track type, and I want to introduce you to what's called the chord track. This is key command G, and I don't want to see all this stuff on the screen, so I'm going to close the library Y, close the inspectors I, and I just want to look at the chord track here inside of the global track. So I'm going to control click, and I'll start to remove what it is that I don't want to see. Conversely, I could also click on single global track, and that takes me to the chord track. So I'll hit return, playhead goes to bar 1, and now I'm starting to think about what I want to listen to. You can very well play this in, but I'm going to talk to the majority of you. I'm assuming you don't know how to play piano, such as myself, and I'm thinking of a chord progression. I want something like A minor to F. I know that's going to sound really solid, and so in order to do that, I'm going to click on this plus menu here. I already have A minor. I'll hit tab, and then I'll type in F major. Chords are very important to understand, and I would say if you want to kind of cut to the front of the line, learn chord progressions, diatonic chords, it's going to help you immensely. So let me go ahead and drop these in, and let's take a listen. Okay, I don't mind this at all. I'm going to bring up the BPM a little bit. So now I want to change the sound. An electric piano is just fine, but I want to make something more interesting. So one of my go-to moves is to head over to the synthesizer category. They've got this amazing subcategory called rhythmic, and there's a bunch of great sounds here, but I'm going to go for unraveled. So if I take the MIDI data that I drag down from the chord track, here's what I got. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the BPM just a little bit more. And now we have the foundation that we can stand on, emotionally speaking. And so I'm really liking the creative direction. So do me a favor, never just settle for the first thing that you find. I want you to play with the chords themselves. So we're going to use that key command that I mentioned earlier, the editor, key command E. And we're going to open up the piano roll. You can also open it up with P as well. And so we're going to look at the chord itself. And if you ever want to look at the note labels, just go to View, Note Labels, and that kind of helps you understand how chords are built. So we have A minor, which is A, C, E, and then F major. And so what I want to do is change the order of these notes. I want them to be a bit more grouped together. And I feel like that's going to give us a bit of an edge. So I'm going to lift this up a little bit. And let's see what this sounds like. I think this is just going to sound a little bit more compact. Check it out. Yeah, I really like that because I hear that bass note in the beginning, and then I hear kind of this harmonic density. And so, again, we're moving forward. I'm feeling that good energy. Let's move on to the next thing. All right, so now we're going to start adding the drums, and so for that I'm going to go back into the new tracks dialog window. Let's go to tracks at the very top, new tracks. This time we're going to select a drummer. They've got different styles, and we're going to use electro trap. You can open the editor by opening up this details tab, and so this is automatically going to open up the editor that we've been talking about. So let's do that now. All right, let's take a listen to this beat. Okay, sounds interesting, but I just need a little bit more. So let me bring down the fill complexity, and then maybe I'll just play with another pattern here. Let's take a listen. If for whatever reason you want to change any one of these drum sounds, if you click on the drum sound and you hit Y, there's that key command again. I can change this within an instant. You may press play and just audition a couple. Here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and close that up. And you could see how easy this is with the session players. Let's go ahead and summon another session player. Key command is Option Command N, and that gives me the bass player. We've got these new bass player styles. If you haven't checked them out, they truly sound remarkable. And I'm going to go to Pump Bass, and let's go ahead and create something here. Let's see what this sounds like. Do remember that the session players are following the chord track. That's kind of like the Logic Pro workflow or protocol. Let's take a listen. So I'm not really feeling the register. I think it's too low. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit E. That's right. And then we're going to move the note range up a little bit. And let's see if we have a better sense of this progression. All right, so this is starting to sound like music. It's starting to get interesting. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to it, but I just want to get you going. I want to get you out there. And so this is the start of a complete track. Great job. So if you want to get a little bit more creative, I highly recommend that you start to use Apple loops like in an interesting way. You can use third-party loops as well. But if I go to sound packs here, they've got a lot of very, very solid packs. I'm going to go to this kind of like reggaeton, gozadera latina thing here. And they've got some things that I really like. I'm going to go ahead and search out an electric piano. Okay, I'm pretty sure that this Good Vibes electric piano ARP is going to work. So let me go ahead and drag that into our session. And something that's very interesting here is that this particular loop has what we call region chords, A minor, C. My chord track is A minor to F. And so we're going to go ahead and match these up. This is the kind of stuff that I love doing. I love being creative. I play bass, I play guitar, I do all sorts of stuff. And I don't think you should be limited to just one medium. So I'm going to go ahead and chop up this A minor. I think that's pretty cool. But instead of having this F here, I'm going to basically transpose that down so it hits the F. So I'm just going to hit Option down arrow key. You could also go into the inspector and do the same thing here under transposition. And so now if I listen to this, we got this. You can get some really solid sounds. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reverse these. That's Control Shift R. Again, if I go into the region inspector, you can see why this is so important. I'm going to go ahead and reverse these. Let's take a listen. They are too fast for me at the moment. So I'm going to click on the region, go into the region inspector and change the speed so that it's just longer. So I'm going to go ahead and do half speed. Now I'll trim the region because I don't need it all. And I'll do the same for this region. Let's go to speed. Okay, we're going to make it twice as long. And what that means, it's going to just play a lot slower. Take a listen. Yeah, that's a lot more fitting for this track. Take a listen to this. And just to round everything out, I'm going to go ahead and select a piano, key command Y. Let's go here, select any old piano. Let's go ahead and play this in. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the mixer. This is a brand new key command, and we're going to balance out the levels just so that nothing stands out too much. So this is a great way to be objective about the mix, so you're not looking at the screen and being influenced by all of that material. The mixer is going to keep you honest. We're going to go ahead and pan a couple things left and right. For example, I'm going to pan this arpeggio to the left, this piano over to the right. If I click on this little arrow here, I can see all of the drums, and I'll just make minute changes here as well. All right, so we have a mix that we're happy with. And so what I'm going to do now is set the cycle range, that's key command C, to the full length of my song. And so let me go ahead and increase the ending of the cycle region. You want to make sure that when the song ends, there's a little bit of healthy silence. It should sound something like this. All right, so from here, we're going to hit Command B. If you look at the start and end time, it actually coincides with the length of the cycle region. And I'm going to go ahead and bounce an MP3. My settings here are ideal, so go ahead and take a screenshot of this. And let's hit OK. We'll call this first track, and let's go ahead and take a listen to it. My guy, great job. So let's talk about what we've covered here. We've talked about Logic Pro as a whole. We've talked about the entire infrastructure. We've talked about how to look at the program, which is vital. We talked about the tracks area, the inspectors, the editors. That is of primary importance. We talked about the library. We talked about the Apple Loops library. We talked about recording, session players, the chord track. This is the heart of Logic Pro as it stands right now. You want to build your track using chords, record anything in, manipulate audio every which way. Then you want to mix it objectively, and then you want to export and or bounce it. Now, if this interests you and you want to make more music, you have to check out my new beginner template. I built it from scratch, and it already has hundreds, if not thousands of downloads, and I want to make sure you get in on the action. So if you want to be more productive, I highly recommend you click on the link in the description. This is going to help you move forward. It's going to help you accelerate. And I just wanted to make sure that I offered that over to you. I'm super busy these days, so I want to make sure that I'm listening to my audience. If you guys do have something for me and there's something that you want to see, you need to let me know in the comments. I cannot read your mind, so go ahead and hit me up. I know there's a lot of people that love what I do, and I got some of you weirdos that are just wasting your time typing in that negativity. But for those of you that care and that want to, be uplifted, that want to grow just like me, I want to learn from you too. Go ahead and hit me up in the comments. And just recently I released a Logic 12 video. If you want to know the difference between Logic Pro 12 and 11, go ahead and click on that. I encourage you guys to make some music today. Listen, I love being with you here. I'm super grateful that you're increasing my watch time. But the truth is, if you really want to learn this, you're going to have to open up that laptop and you're going to have to start getting to work one day and one brick at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Go ahead and turn off your phones, turn off your laptops, get to work. And I thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for supporting my work. And we're going to keep getting after it. This is Eddie Gray signing out. We'll see you later. Bye.